Frustrated Kofi Annan steps down as UN envoy to Syria. He says his peace plan never got the support it deserved and blames world powers for bickering rather than stopping the violence. Taking the helm of the world's newest democracy, Egypt's government of the people is sworn in, but critics say the old order still prevails. Hosni Mubarak's defence minister is keeping his job. And disappointment drives down the markets after the European Central Bank offers no new game plan to save the euro. Mario Draghi says the bank may buy weak government bonds, but hopes of any immediate action are shattered. Hello and welcome back to Live from Paris with me, Rebecca Bowering. Coming up in the next half an hour of the programme, our daily Olympic extravaganza. Dan Levy has more on swimming. Superstar Michael Phelps, the American, bags another gold, taking his medal total to a record 20. And in focus, 60,000 refugees stuck in South Sudan's Yida camp are facing crisis conditions. Nadia Shabi speaks to the NGO launching an appeal for help. But first, some called it Mission Impossible, and the Herculean task of bringing peace to Syria has indeed proved too much for Kofi Annan. The UN Arab League Special Envoy on the crisis has resigned from his post, saying he can't go on when the Security Council doesn't back his efforts. At a press conference in Geneva earlier today, he blamed world powers' disunity for failing to stop the violence on the ground.
Without serious, purposeful and united international pressure, including from the powers of the region, it is impossible for me or anyone to compel the Syrian government in the first place, and also the opposition, to take the steps necessary to begin a political process.
Let's get analysis now from Majid Rafizadeh, an Iranian-Syrian policy analyst and writer for the Harvard International Review. Many thanks to you for being with us here on Live from Paris. Were you surprised that Annan pulled out, or at his reasons for doing so?
Well, Rebecca, I think from the beginning it was doomed to fail. And I just listened to his speech, and his remarks Kofi's remarks basically highlighted the three important issues that led to the failure of the program, of the 6 points plan. I think first was the domestic internal conflict, the Syrian government in transitions, the militarization of the rebels. The rebels are getting more advanced weapon, and then we have the regional issue, this Cold War between basically Iran, Hezbollah on one side, and then Arab Gulf states, the GCC members, particularly Saudi Arabia and Qatar. And the third is on the international arena and the stalemate between the powers, Russia and China on one side, and then we have France, United Kingdom and United States on the other. And these three things highlighted from the beginning highlighted the complexity of reaching a forceful and robust resolution for Syria.
Indeed, as you say, he pointed out there had to be the will for peace in order for his role to succeed. So the political process has clearly failed. Is diplomacy now effectively at an end?
Well, I think what they will do, I think they will try still to use diplomatic initiative to solve the problem, because they don't have any other option, and it is the only game in town. And I think, but the other thing that you might see is some countries starting to work outside the United Nations framework, and they will intensify their supply to the rebels and providing communicational tools for them. On the other hand, we have other countries that will now continue selling weapons to the Syrian regime, and basically we see the violence in Syria will intensify and more youth will be radicalized.
And do you have any thoughts on who could possibly take on the task of filling Annan's shoes? Is there in fact any point in finding a replacement for him?
Well, I think, as he mentioned, obviously that no one can reach the level that it's difficult really to reach forceful resolution. I think one thing that we should wait and see if Russia will change its position that it maintained from the March last year. I don't think it will change its position anytime soon, but if it sees that Assad is on the verge of collapse, it might shift its position and support the Syrian people.
Russia, of course, saying it deeply regrets the resignation of Kofi Annan. Majid Rafizadeh, an Iranian-Syrian policy analyst, many thanks to you for speaking to us.